Then I will start. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
If I speak too fast, just let me know.
Okay.
Yes. And my name is Erika. Many of you asked me, what is my occupation here? I wasn't working here because I was taking sabbatical.
Oh.
Yes, but my profession is actually linguistics.
Oh, good girl. Mm-hmm.
And my first job was a work at a company as computational linguist. What is computational linguist?
Yeah.
I teach language to computer
Oh, good grief.
so that the computer can understand human language, like machine translation, speech recognition, speech synthesis, that kind of thing. So I am a linguist. I was a linguist. So I would like to talk a little bit about language today. This was my profession that I can talk about. And today we are going to explore the meaning of love by looking at the origin of Chinese characters. Okay. Sometimes I read Bible at Grace in Japanese, Last February, the second Sunday, second service, second reading, that was first letter to Corinthians. And Japanese Bible looked like this. So it's written from top to bottom, right to left. And there is no space between words. There are commas and period, but not spaces between words. So I had to know the word boundary to read. This is how it looks like. And can you see a little bit of difference in some characters? Some are very dense, and some are not. Some are round, and some has lots of strokes, straight lines. So there are 3 types of characters in Japanese. One is called hiragana. It's syllabic and phonetic. You can just read. Like words, watashi, shikashi, anatagata, meaning I, but, and you, plural. And there were characters called katakana. That's syllabic and phonetic also, and often used for loan words. Like the words came from foreign language, like table, or orange, or Apollo's name, and Christ. And there is kanji. It is also known as Chinese characters.
Oh.
Yes. These are ideograms, meaning that it represents some meanings, and pictograms. It was made from pictures or images. And I would like to talk about kanji, or Chinese characters today. So, what is the simplest kanji in Japanese? Can you guess? The simplest character is this one. So this, actually it means one. So one line and meaning one. And the kanji with most stroke in Japanese for regular use. They are like 5,000 kanjis in Japanese, or more than 5,000 kanji in Japanese. And for the category of regular use, it's 2,000 characters. So what is the most complicated kanji? This is this one, which I've never written in my entire life. Even it is categorized as for regular use. And it means depression or depressed. And one kanji character can represent a word, or there's sometimes two characters form one word and have a meaning, like faith. This word consists of the word to believe and to look up to or to respect. So there are two different kanji characters, but one word. Other example is worship or service. And this is a very good word in English because worship is action of human and service is action of God to us. But in Japanese, it's only one word. And that is to respect or to admire. And the right one is to worship or to pray. So this is the word for worship or service. And how were Chinese characters formed? Does anybody know? Okay.
I think they started out as pictures of objects
Mhm.
or actions.
Yes. It's like this. The right-hand character is sun. And it was the image of sun and became something like the one in the middle, and then the character was formed. Same as the character for moon. And do you know what this is?
Looks like some sort of tool, the one in the middle.
Mm-hmm. This means gate.
Ah,
Gate. How about this? Horse, yes. Easy, right? Now you can read Chinese characters. Yay! So, what do you think this is? It was like this before. No idea? No, it's not cup. It is
mouse.
mouth.
Oh,
Okay, how about this one? It looked like this before. Any idea? How about this?
now is that a picture for rain or a picture for cloud?
It's
Rain. Okay.
rain.
Okay.
But it's interesting that it has one stroke about on the top.
Must be the roof.
Roof or maybe a cloud.
Oh.
We don't know. So how about this one?
Well, it looks like a tree, but it could be anything.
And it looked like this before.
Tree. Human being? No. Hand. Oh, okay.
Yes, it is hand.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that one has 5 fingers. Okay.
How about this one?
Mat? Oh. Okay.
Well, this is this.
Fire.
Yes, fire.
I'll be darned. They don't make sense to a Western mind. That's interesting.
So this was like this? Yes.
Bird. Oh, it is.
Bird.
What's interesting, if you look at the ones down the middle, they have curves,
Yes.
whereas the ones on the right are more geometric. If they're linear with angles.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Now, what if you want to describe complicated concepts like this one or this one? What should we do? Do you know what the left picture means? What are they doing? Yes, and this is, of course, a word company, right? Com and pani. And com means, of course, together, and pani is bread. So they are eating bread together. So company is a group of people who eat bread together. That's how the words are formed. How about the right one? It's an English word. This is transact. And transact is made of trans and act. What does trans mean?
Across.
Yes, beyond or across. And then act, drive or move.
Move, I guess.
Yes. So transact. So same in kanji. Like God looks like this. There are two parts, this one and this one, like company or transact. And the left one looked like this before or like this. What is this?
Ah,
It's a table. Yes, you can call it altar. It's a table to put human sacrifice. And the right one looked like this or this. That's a thunder. So the ancient Asians, Chinese, understood God as the relationship between human and God is to offer sacrifice and hear from God through thunder. So this is
but the thunder wasn't necessarily bad.
no,
Aha, okay,
that's the way God speaks to us.
yes, but not bad.
Not bad.
Okay.
So this is very interesting. Well, when Christianity was introduced to China, they tried to create or decide a word for Christian God. And there was somebody who wanted to use this word, or somebody wanted to use different word that means the emperor of heaven. And they had a big discussion, and they asked even to Vatican, and then they decided to use this word for God.
Isn't Thor is the Nordic god, right? The thunder? So I'm wondering if there's any connection or the missionaries.
Yeah, but the character was like way before the missionaries come to China. So maybe the human being have similar idea about God. And we are now in the season of Lent. And if we look up the word God, we now know that who offers the sacrifice. It's not us, not we who offers the sacrifice, but it's God who offered only Son for us. So I think it's a very meaningful character for us to know, even it was not that, even if it doesn't have that meaning. So this is the word for God. And to pray or prayers, like this. And again, they consist of two parts. The left one you recognize, it was like this. And the right part is Acts. What does Acts to do with prayer or to pray?
Probably to break through something to get at.
Okay, there are some theories about what acts mean. One theory is that it represents human action to make an altar using an axe. So the prayer is related to God and human action to make an altar. Or another theory is that the axe represents that the people go near to God, because the movement of axe is like this, and it goes close to something. So it means to go closer. So maybe the character represents the state that the prayer is related to God and human wish to be closer to God. So there are many theories about characters. And holy or saint is this one. And this consists of 3 parts. This was like this. What is it? How about this? Yes, it is an ear. So holy or saint is something to do with ear. And the right part, do you remember what was that? What it was?
No, brain doesn't.
That's the mouth.
Yes, it is mouth. Listening and praying or saying. And how about the bottom? It looks like this. And this represents somebody standing on tiptoes. So holy or saint is that somebody trying to hear God's word by tiptoeing, trying to reach.
Reaching.
Yes, and praying.
And listening very hard.
Yes. So the saint or the holy person can listen to what God says. That's the word. And now we go to love. And this is love. So complicated. But before going to Chinese character, I'd like to talk a little bit about the word love in English. So what is the origin of love in English? I looked up in the website and it says the word love was once luv, a word used by the Proto-Indo-Europeans approximately 5,000 years ago to describe care, and desire. When love was incorporated into Old English as lufu, it had turned into both a noun to describe deep affection and its offspring verb to be very fond of. So it says lufu. And I also looked up in some dictionaries, and this one says it's the Middle English from Old English, lufu. So again, lufu. Akin to Old High German Löwe, love. Old English, leof, dear. Latin, lubere or libere, to please. So leof. And this one says Old English, lufu, again lufu, of Germanic origin of an Indo-European root shared by Sanskrit, lublayati, I don't know, but that means desire. Or Latin, libet, it is pleasing. And libido, desire. And it says also, look up the word leave, the second meaning of leave and leave. So, the second meaning of leave is like as leave of absence. And this is Old English leo, means permission, of West Germanic origin and related to leave and love. So leave is archaic as happily or gladly, and Old English leo, dear or pleasant, of Germanic origin related to leave and love. And there is another word that shares the origin of leo, which is believe. Middle English, beleven, from Old English, beleven, from be and leven, leven, to allow or believe, akin to Old High German, glauben, to believe. Old English, leo, dear. So the word love and to believe is related in English.
And we don't know it.
Mm. So if you look at the word love in English, it is the mixture or maybe related to care, pleasant, desire, dear, permission, to please, happily, gladly, to allow, to believe. So this is the concept of love in English. Now, let's look at the word in Chinese characters. They look really complicated. But this word is very new in Japanese. This is not used maybe until late 1800s. And the important part of love is this. What is this?
It looks happy. It's like a little smile.
More like a hug.
Other ideas? This is.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
This is heart, mind, or spirit. So love is related to heart or work of heart in Chinese characters. And before Japanese learned to use the word love, they used the word grace or to have mercy or to give instead. And this one looks like this, and it looks much simpler. And do you recognize there are two parts here? And the bottom one is, of course, heart. So what is the top one?
I forget already. Is that the sacrifice part?
So the top one is so.
Something very strong. Silk thread.
Yes.
It's delicate.
Yes, it's delicate. And the silk was very precious, expensive. So grace or to have mercy or to give is somebody or the action that the person have heart with spool of silk thread. Means that there are many precious things in their heart, and to give or share that precious thing to others, that is the action of grace, or to have mercy. Or, as the spool of silk thread is turned many times, it is an action of human hugging somebody so tightly. So this is the word for grace. So our church, there are so many people with precious things in our heart, and we can share with others. That's the meaning of our church. Or we can hug and show mercy to others. And also, there is a separate word for fall in love in Japanese. And this was often used to express before the love was introduced to Japan. And the character looks like this. But before, it looks like this. It's really complicated. And you can just recognize heart, right? And two things here.
Oh.
And something in the middle.
But they're the same on either side.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I try to describe to fall in love, it looks like
Oh.
this. So the same two thing on both sides is string or thread, and the bottom is heart.
Yeah. What's above the mouth there?
It's a needle for tattooing or dagger to punish somebody.
Well, to make a hole to put the thread through, I suppose.
Well, the middle thing is the word for to say, or a word, or spoken word.
Ah, okay.
So ancient times, to speak or to say is really important. That if your word is false, then you will be punished.
Ah.
But in this character, it is not that serious. The falling in love is an emotion that it's like two strings or threads tangled, and you cannot just separate them. So this is the feeling of love. Somebody has one string and other has another string, and that string is like mixed together. So you cannot just separate them. This is the emotion for fall in love. Now, we talk about love. And it looked like this before. So there are basically three parts. the one in the middle, you recognize it's heart, right? So what is the shape above on the top? It's somebody turns head looking back. And the bottom part is shuffle feet while walking. So the love is like this. So somebody tried to walk away, but he or she has deep affection or emotion, so that they cannot just leave, but to look back, carrying somebody behind you. So it's just like God. God couldn't leave us just because we are sinners, but He looked back to us and gave us Jesus Christ as our Savior. So love is not just walking away, but have deep emotion attached to somebody.
Erika, say again, please, what the character on the right there is.
The right?
Yeah, the
That's-
big one there, yes.
That's the character for love.
That is the character for love.
Yes,
And so the one in the middle,
is heart.
no. The
Oh.
three pieces
Oh.
in the middle there,
That was the original
that
form.
was the original form. Okay, that is in Japanese or Chinese?
It was originally a Chinese.
Yes, I know, originally in Chinese, but,
Yes.
okay, so if it was the original one, that is the way the Chinese people
Mhm.
wrote it. And now, do the Chinese people also write it this way, or is that just the Japanese way?
This is just Japanese way.
Aha, okay.
And the Chinese simplified the character,
Mhm.
and interestingly, they took away the heart part.
Ah,
So it's just head and feet.
that's not too, I don't know about that one. Okay. Yeah, I have always wondered, because I knew that the Japanese calligraphy is somewhat based on Chinese, and
Mhm.
I've always wondered if the Japanese changed some of the Chinese or exactly how it worked, because most of the time I can recognize the calligraphy. I know that that's Korean, and I know that's Japanese, and I know that's Chinese,
Mhm.
but not always.
Right.
And this is part of the reason
Mhm.
why, I guess.
And this
Okay,
is
thank you.
why it is called Chinese character.
Yeah,
Even
well,
it is
obviously.
Japanese, yes.
Thank you.
Yes. And before the word love was used for Christian love or God's love, the people who translated God's love into Japanese used different word to describe love, and it was this one. And this Japanese word means important, precious, dear, valuable, to value, to cherish, to treasure, and to take good care of. So this was the original word for love in Japanese when the Christianity was introduced to Japan. They didn't have a word for love, and they really think about a good Japanese word to describe God's love, and decided to use this one. So this was used before the word love was introduced, well, accepted by Japanese. Now, suppose you are a member of New Chinese Character Invention Committee, and nobody except you knows a Bible, or Christianity, or God, or love. What would your character for love look like? Any thoughts?
I think it's hard because there are different kinds of love,
Mm-hmm.
so it's hard to pick just one.
I think that the center of it would still be the heart.
Okay. So let's put heart.
It doesn't matter which kind of love,
Mm-hmm.
it still involves.
Anything you want to put?
I've already forgotten, is there specific character meaning God or higher power?
God is human sacrifice and thunder. That was the character.
Human sacrifice and acts.
That was prayer.
Okay, that's prayer, right, okay. Human sacrifice, oh boy.
Maybe not looking away, like turning back.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But Jesus' sacrifice is extremely important in Christianity.
Yes.
So how do you combine a character? You have to make a new word.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to. But you can't get rid of the human sacrifice,
Mm-hmm.
because Jesus was one.
Okay. Anything you want to add?
What is there a character meaning something like great power, great strength, great?
Mm-hmm. Is okay. Where to write? But the character for power is like this.
But a cross is a character for sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
It's Christianity.
Yes.
So you could have a cross in the heart, which some places do.
Yes.
A kanji character.
How are they arranged?
What, just a cross with, with the heart behind it. I think I've seen that kanji character. English, Western kanji characters.
Yes. The shape of cross is a kanji character that means 10.
Hand?
10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10.
10.
Okay.
And the cross is called a 10-shaped thing to hang. But maybe we can create a word using a shape of cross and heart, and maybe the head turning back, or human sacrifice, or maybe human sacrifice and cross is the same thing.
But you wouldn't want something like a noose
Mm.
or other kind of.
Very difficult.
Is there actually a new Chinese character invented in English?
No.
Because if you look at English language, we incorporate and make new words with the new things that happen. You know, like computer language and some different kinds
Yes.
of things that happen. And I don't know who invents that, but eventually it winds its way into the dictionaries.
Mm-hmm.
There's no committee in English.
No?
Borrow words from other languages.
Is it just common usage?
Yeah, somebody accidentally coins a word, and there you go.
FaceTime.
Yeah, actually that one is probably deliberate, but.
Yes, well, it's interesting because the word Google was a name, just a name of a service or a company. And now we use it as to Google as a noun.
Yeah, that's a good example, because it's even in the dictionary now.
Yes.
I can't Google, so I can't do that.
Yes.
And you don't have to use Google's Chrome
To Google, yes. That's right. Or like what, to text.
right.
You can just send picture and text. So it's like somebody invents a new way of saying new concept or new service or new action. So maybe if there is a new concept, a new word, we just choose one character and other and put together and make a new word. Or just borrow something from foreign languages. So nowadays I don't think it's very common to create a new kanji character, but we can just assume and suppose and what we would put as a part. So this is the end of my presentation, and I hope you like to explore some word of Chinese characters or the word of love.
Thank you.
Thank you.